Then it's B.J. Upton 7th, Juan Francisco 8th, and Tim Hudson will pitch and bat 9th.
This gentleman right here, he's going to lead his team out. Matt Cain on the mound tonight for the Giants. Cain, 6'3", 230-pounder, 28 years old, his 8th year at the big league level. See Brandon Crawford stretching out, getting ready. Let's take a look at the numbers for Cain. He's 3-2 lifetime against Atlanta. Did not face him last year. This year he is 1-2 with a 5.57 ERA, coming off one of his best starts of the year, 7 1/3 strong against the Dodgers, where he allowed just a run. When you face him, you're going to see a fastball that's low 90s. He'll two-seam and four-seam the fastball. Got a slider, curveball, changeup. And he's a guy who, when he's right, can really pick apart that strike zone with that fastball and changeup combination. Oh yeah, smile. Let's take a look at the defense that is playing behind Matt Cain tonight for the Giants, starting in the outfield from left to right. It's going to be Torres, Pagan, and Pence. That's your outfield. Crawford and Sandoval on the left side of the infield. Scudero and Bell on the right side. Buster Posey, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs. The Giants try to get back even in this series with the Braves, who won Game 1 last night.
Well, tonight's ceremonial first pitch celebrates the life of Lyndon Hines, a late Giants employee. Throwing out tonight's ceremonial first pitch in partnership with ARF and AT&T was Will Rye, Lyndon's nephew, who was also joined by Lyndon's niece and nephews Meg, Liam, and Keller. So nice, very nice gesture by the Giants in memory of Lyndon Hines. So here's Jordan Schaefer to lead things off. It'll be Schaefer, Simmons in Upton. Braves winning last night by a score of 6-3. So here's the first pitch of the ball game, and it's down low. So we get started right on time. Schaefer last night went 1 for 5. Here he hits a high fly ball to left. It's starting to carry, and it's Andres Torres who is backpedaling, and he puts it away. The ballpark has been a little bit weird on this homestand. You never quite know what you're going to get.
Well, especially early in the game, we see lots and lots of carry to center field and left center. Still pretty tough to hit the ball to right field, especially for right-handers.
Andrelton Simmons. He's got a nice little 6-game hitting streak. He went 1 for 5 last night. Here he bounces this one to Crawford. Crawford charging, throwing, and from one shortstop to another, 2 down. Simmons doesn't look to be a guy that takes a lot of pitches. So here's Upton. Of all the hitters in this Braves lineup, Upton has the most history against Cain, and that you would expect. Upton spending all of his career until this year in Arizona. 47 at bats, 13 hits, 5 of those 13 doubles. You saw the home plate umpire, Tony Randazzo. It's Baker, Bell, and Gonzalez. Bell is the crew chief. Baker is the youngest umpire in the crew. That's low 2-0.
Well, Tony Randazzo is a low strike zone guy, and he will give some width on the outside corner to right-handers, more so than the outside corner to lefties. But he's an umpire that I think looks for strikes.
Well, we applaud that. 3-0. So Cain has to come in. Upton will have the green light. And the walk. So that's a 4-pitch walk, bringing Freddie Freeman to the plate.
It didn't look like Cain wanted any part of it. Very careful on the outside corner.
So here's Freeman. Freeman 1 for 5 last night. The Braves struck out 14 times last night. There's a swing and a miss. And I mean, they are a team that will strike out a lot, but that has not kept them from scoring runs. They're first in the National League East. They're 21-13. But they also hit a lot of big flies. Kane comes back in tight with a fastball to even the count. It's a good day at the yard for father and son. Although that's a little bit of a conflict going here.
Takes after his mother.
Dad grew up watching TBS. That kid grew up watching Comcast Sportsnet.
There you go.
Trouble. I'll take the big guy on the right. What do you think?
My money's on him.
2 balls and 1 strike. Freeman bounces this one. Crawford will step on the bag as Kane tried to kick it and missed. And that's a good thing. Pagan, Scudero, Sandoval coming up. All right, here's the Giants lineup. It'll go like this. Pagan and Scudero has got a 9-game hitting streak. Then it's Sandoval, Posey, and Pence. Bruce Bochy really wanting to get something from the bottom of his lineup, and that'll be Belt, Torres, Crawford, and then Matt Cain.
On the hill tonight for the Atlanta Braves is the veteran Tim Hudson in his 14th campaign at the big league level. 6'1", 175-pounder, not a big guy, but a great pitcher. 4-1, 3.83 record on the season. Just recently in his last, he's got 201 career victories. 2 starts ago he got his 200th. And when you're hitting off of Tim Hudson, you're going to see a fastball that he'll cut and sink, a lot of sinkers, a lot of ground balls. He's got a curveball, a slider, and a changeup, and any one of those 3 specialty pitches he can strike you out with it. But you're going to see the guy that will really dominate the knee-high location in the strike zone. Very, very consistent to both sides of the plate, in and out. But knee-high, I don't think there's anybody better in the league than this guy. Lifetime against the Giants, 8-4. Let's take a look at the defense playing behind him. It'll be Upton, and Schaefer, 3 great arms in the outfield. Simmons and Francisco on the left side of the infield. Ugla and Freeman on the right side. And Brian McCann will be in the squad putting down the signs.
A newbie.
Wow, that's got to be a couple, maybe 3 weeks old.
Yeah.
Maybe less.
Bring him to the yard. Break him in.
Oh, yeah, never too early.
Here's Pagan hitting .262. He takes a strike. He went 0 for 3 in the game last night with a walk. He's got a double and a home run lifetime against Hudson. 11 for 34. Pretty good numbers.
Yeah, those are great numbers. More hits than any other Giant off of Hudson.
There you go. 6 weeks old.
Kingston Perez, 6 weeks. All right. Congratulations, rookie.
Yeah, where you been? It took you 6 weeks to get out here? Come on.
Jimmy jacking around.
You know, our ticket department isn't doing a good job at all. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Pagan.
Well, congratulations, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, you did good.
You'll get a good night's sleep for 7 more months.
In tight 2-2.
They don't care. They are happy.
Pence would like to hit this inning. And now a full count. So Pagan gets it to 3-2. Scudero on deck, and then Sandoval. And Pagan hooks this one foul. That'll carry him out to Jordan Schaefer. Both Hudson and Kane making their 8th start of the year. And the payoff. Here it is to Pagan, and Pagan rolls another one foul.
7 pitches in the at-bat.
Outfield straight away. And again the payoff. Fouled right to Dave Benzer.
Let's take a look at the motion for Tim Hudson on our Exmo, brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Very compact motion, 6'1", 175. And look at the stride step and the way that he releases that back leg through the ball is fantastic.
And Pagan lifts this one out into left center field for Upton. So a long at bat, 9 pitches, and Pagan is retired.
Yeah, we told you about the size of Hudson. He's not a big guy, 6'1", 175, but he really maximizes his strength with his motion, which gives him his velocity and his consistency of his velocity. Great mechanics.
Here's Scudero, and Scudero looks at a strike. 2 for 4 last night, scored a run.
There you see the percentage of what he throws. About 53% of the time it's a fastball, and I'd say about 90% of those are 2-seam fastballs. And everything else is pretty evenly distributed as to what's working. He's always been a guy that has great confidence in all of his stuff. And if he gets a good curveball on a particular day, he'll ride it. Some days he throws more changeups, more sliders. Just depends on what's working.
Scudero 0 for 7 lifetime against Hudson. I'm sure these two guys were together in Oakland. One and two. Scudero on the ground towards the hole. It'll be Simmons who throws out Scudero. And with 2 outs, here's Sandoval. I'm a little perplexed by Sandoval's numbers against Hudson. I would think that he would have pretty good numbers against him.
Yeah, I mean, the 2 for 17 just does not equate, and I agree with you, because Sandoval's a natural low ball hitter, and with Hudson, you're going to see a guy that is down around the knees all night. You would think that these two would be a perfect match. Interesting, though, in those 17 at-bats, he has never struck out Pablo Sandoval.
Yeah. Trying to shave the outside corner, and he misses, and it's 1-0. Sandoval last night went 1 for 4. Well, Bruce Bochy around the batting cage today. Sandoval did that. Skipper asked him how he was doing. He said, "I'm in a bad mood." It's like, Sandoval's in a bad mood?
Come on.
Yeah, he said, "I'm in a bad mood." Hits this one on the ground, and Ugla will throw him out, and that'll end the inning. All right. Through 1. 0-0. Facts, and it's the lowest team ERA in the majors since 2010. Who's on top? Well, it's the Giants, followed by the Braves, Phillies, Rays, and then the Oakland A's. How about that? And just by looking at that list, it looks like all 5 of those teams have won pretty consistently since 2010.
It's all about the pitching.
Here's Ugla. Strike to Ugla, hitting .212. 7 home runs, 12 RBIs. Dangerous. Yesterday it wasn't the hitting that hurt the Giants with Ugla, it was the walks. And there's another strike. And it's also very odd to see a right-handed hitter get the overshift. And Scudero is playing on the other side of second base.
Well, he's hot. Saw the numbers. He's always been streaky, and when he gets into a hot streak, that's when he puts up lots of home runs. Hit 370 in this little streak that he's running on right now.
And he's gone. All right, let's check in with Amy G. I think she's wearing orange.
Absolutely. Wouldn't think otherwise on Orange Friday. An update for fans on Santiago Casilla. He's not available again this evening. He feels about the same with that cyst in his knee. But, fellas, he is receiving a new knee brace tomorrow, and Bruce Bochy hopes that he will then be available out of the pen. He wore one last year with a similar problem with that cyst, and it did him well. So they think it might help out, guys.
All right, thanks, Amy. The orange looks great. And here's Brian McCann.
Good two-seam fastball tonight. Kane's throwing it a lot.
Swinging a foul.
It's a nice 2-pitch sequence. Fastball, you come back, same arm action, change up. This is last night. They set up on the outside corner. Vogelsong did not get that location where he wanted it. This is result.
So it's 1-2. With B.J. Upton on deck. Look out. Off of Matt Cain. Can Cain scramble and get it? And they got him!
Well, that was solid, too. He got hit hard.
Cain got dinged good.
He's waving off Bruce Bochy. He said he was all right, but that's going to be one that stays with him for a while.
That's a great play.
Indeed it is. He should get 2 assists on this one. Right in the right thigh. And watch the play. He has to go around him, a little shovel, and give Brandon Bell a lot of credit for going with him on that side to give himself a target.
Are you sure it was the thigh and not hit him in the side? I don't know where you'd rather be hit, but this is really a good play by both.
That's as good a play as you're going to see, especially under the circumstances. You take a bullet on the side, and I'm not sure. I thought it was the thigh, but perhaps it was higher. Maybe a little higher up around the hip. Is that hurt there? All right, so we have location. Well, if you're going to get a bullet, I guess that's as good a place as any.
You should be able to pull a Sharpie out of your pocket and circle the spot that it hit you. I mean, you got to have something to show for it other than a great play.
Oh, he's going to have something to show for it. There'll be a nice bruise there for about the next month.
But we can't see it.
Cain's a pretty good bruiser, too.
Here's Upton. Upton hitting 157, but like Ugla, dangerous. And a strike on the inside corner. This is where Dave Righetti is going to watch Matt Cain very carefully to see what his mechanics look like after this. It almost looks like he's giving a little bit after he releases the ball.
Yeah, he's feeling it. I mean, they are big time stingers. You know, and the other thing too is that you get a little shock that goes with it. Now, this is 2 pitches ago. It looks like he's getting plenty of drive off that back leg. He's pretty free. I will say this, though. Tomorrow he's going to get up out of bed, and he's going to feel a very strong closeness to Brian McCann.
And Dave Greshner.
High leg kick. Watch the foot start to drop, and now the knee breaks in the backside, and here comes the power off the hip. And I don't see anything that would cause me to believe that he's altering his motion at all.
This is hit on the ground to Belt, and it's going to force Matt Cain to stretch out that leg, and he does, and that ends the inning. So Cain limping a little bit coming off the field. It's 0-0.
brought to you by Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com.
Well, the Washington Nationals are coming to San Francisco, and they're going to make their only visit to AT&T Park next homestand, May 20th through the 22nd. And you can get tickets for all three of those games. There's two 7:15 games, the 20th and 21st. And May 22nd is a 12:45 midweek game. Go to sfgiants.com.
Here's Posey facing Hudson. No score. And Posey takes a strike.
Just knee-high paint, one pitch after another. Uncanny command of the knee-high location on both sides. That has always been a strength of Tim Hudson.
Posey hits this one on the ground to Francisco, who throws out Buster Posey. So fly ball to Pagan, and then 3 ground balls, and here's Hunter Pence. Pence 0 for 4 last night, but you can see he's had a good month. He's hitting .344 in the month of May. Belt on deck.
Matt Cain seems to be fine. Lucky. That's how you feel when you take one to a soft spot. You feel lucky it didn't hit you on a hard spot.
Well, I don't know how pitchers do it. I would go back out there and think everyone was going to be coming back at me. Everyone.
You do to that location that got hit. That's the hardest thing, is to go back to that same location that caused the line drive. And you got to get through it. It's tough. It's one thing about pitching. I don't miss.
I know one thing. I would never throw McCann that pitch again. Ever.
I don't think hasn't got that in the database. Braves are being managed tonight by Carlos Tosca. Ferdy Gonzalez, the normal manager of the Braves, is away to his daughter's graduation. He'll be gone tomorrow, but rejoins the team on Sunday.
Pence dribbles this one foul. All right, Hunter, come back.
Carlos Tosca was a former big league manager with Toronto. There's Carlos. One of the really good guys in the game.
Very good guy. This manager's right around 500.
Yeah, he's kind of a 500 manager. 191 or 191.
Three and two to Pence. And Pence tops this one to Francisco. His throw is in the dirt. And a nice dig out by Freddie Freeman.
Well, the NBC Bay Area Investigative Unit, led by Tony Kowaleski. Who are they? Well, they're an award-winning team of 14 journalists dedicated to holding the powerful accountable. The Investigative Unit on NBC Bay Area. We investigate.
All right, guy brought his gamer, and he brought his glove.
Well said.
Here's Belt. Belt fouls it to the backstop.
All right, Francisco making some friends.
Easy. Well, he's got a beer going.
Well, he caused her to spill a couple of drops. Be a little upset about that.
Foul back, 0-2. Should Belt reach, it'll be Andres Torres. Torres hitting in the 7th slot. And Belt fouls it out of play. You know, we've watched Tim Hudson develop as a pitcher over the years, and Was he one of those guys that had to change and do some things differently? Or has he pretty much stayed the same?
He's been pretty much the same guy. I mean, he's picked up a profound knowledge of how to get swing types out. I mean, you can't help that. You pitch for as long as he has. I mean, you're going to learn that about your opponents.
So he hasn't really had to reinvent himself after a couple of surgeries.
No, I mean, he's always had a base sinker, which has had a good high velocity, a good changeup to throw off of it, and breaking balls that are very quick that he can command. I mean, he really established himself quickly when he got to the big leagues.
And he strikes out Belt for his first strikeout, and that'll end the inning. We will head to inning number 3, no score.
Is brought to you by Big O Tires. Tires, service, straight talk. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Well, for years, StubHub has been the place to find great Giants tickets. Find great seats for this weekend's games here against the Braves. And this season, you can get more with your ticket thanks to StubHub Fan Rewards. Get to StubHub and grab your seats today. Gentleman taking a lap. As Juan Francisco steps up. Francisco, Hudson, and Schaefer. It is a cool night. And anything that'll keep you warm tonight works. It's okay by us.
Oh, yeah, she's bundled up nice and warm. Panda people have showed up.
Shallow left field. Torres is coming in. And he'll put it away. And that'll bring up Hudson. Hudson can hit a little bit. He's 6 for 16 this year. He also has a home run, and he's got 3 driven in. Fastball in tight, 1 ball and no strikes. Mentioned the Braves being 21-13. The Giants are 20-15. There's a swing and a miss.
Hudson, when he won his 200th game a couple starts ago, in that game, he hit a home run to right field.
Come on.
In Atlanta.
He's not going to do it here.
No. It's almost
1-2.
Impossible for a right-hander to hit a ball out of this ballpark to right field. You get about 3 a year.
Now it's 2-2 to Hudson. The Giants, this is a 10-game homestand. They'll have 2 more games after tonight. Right now they're 4-3 on the homestand. Got him. I think Hudson would like to say, I want that pitch too.
Oh, he's going to get it. Now this is the homer we're talking about on the night that he had his 200th win. He got a little help from Bryce Harper. Nevertheless, looked at his wife. She appreciated that. And the winning pitcher. And that certainly is a milestone. 200 wins. Great career.
Here's Jordan Schaefer. Schaefer opened up the ball game with a fly ball to left field. Here he takes low and in, 2-0. Cargo ships that have to get underneath the Bay Bridge. It's never boring here. We had a great view.
Now John Milligan can tell you where that guy's coming from, where he's going, when he's leaving, and what he's carrying.
And he may just ask to see if he can hitch a ride.
The YM mutuality.
There's a strike to Schaefer.
From Monrovia. It's down by Pasadena. Hey, the bride's here.
And you know how she started out that marriage? By saying, game on. Up the middle. Crawford. No chance, but a nice effort. And that's the first hit for the Atlanta Braves.
And that opens up a couple of possibilities here with Schaefer at first base. He is a stealing threat. Well, this is a nice play just to stop the ball. But with the speed of Schaefer, you're just not going to have the time to get off a throw. I don't care how strong your arm is. He has got it going. Great speed. That's 4-1 speed from the left side, and he had a pretty full backswing too. Took him a while to get out of the box.
Here's Simmons. Simmons bounced out to Crawford on 1 pitch in the first inning. And the runner goes. Posey's throw on the money. Got him. And a beautiful throw by Buster Posey. And that'll end the inning. Take a look at this throw and tag. And it'll be Torres, Crawford, and King coming up.
What a strike. for a catch. From the time he touches it to the time it gets to a middle infielder is totally acceptable. That is the norm. Posey 1.84, and Jordan Schaefer, you are history. Our Ford right choice.
So here's Andres Torres to lead things off. Giants have not had a base runner as he hits this one off the end of the bat foul.
Watch the back foot in a straight line with his step, which allows you to throw a straight throw to second, and that's an absolute strike with a great quickness to his release. And Schaefer did not have that bad of a jump.
Pulled on the ground into the Braves dugout. It's now 0-2. Yeah, this is the jump Mike's talking about, and it really was a pretty good jump. And the 0-2 pitch to Torres is a swing and a miss. He got him.
Back foot slider. Schaefer, the kind of player that likes to get dirty.
So here's Crawford. Crawford hitting .252. Went 1 for 4 last night. Is 1 for 6 in his career against Hudson. And here he takes low with Matt Cain on deck.
Giants trying to get Hudson in the stretch. Hasn't been in it tonight.
There's a line drive in the left field, and there's a base hit. First hit, first base runner for the Giants. And here's Cain. So Cain's got one job, and that's get Crawford into scoring position. Or I guess you could say, or hit one out. There's the bunt. And the only play is to Uggla at first. And it goes 1-4.
We talked about the guy that's got the most hits lifetime against Tim Hudson is Angel Pagan, and now he's going to have a chance with a runner in score position to add on to his hit total. And one thing about Hudson, I mean, he's a smart pitcher, but he's also stubborn. There's not a guy that he doesn't think he can get out, and he doesn't always use an open base, even with a guy who's got pretty good history.
So here's Pagan now with Crawford in scoring position. It's the first time in this game for either team that they've had a runner in scoring position. And Pagan takes a strike. He had a fly ball, a 9-pitch at bat in the first inning, and he had a fly ball to center field.
Nice quality curveball to steal strike one.
So Hudson out of the stretch. And that's outside to Pagan. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hudson here in the 3rd inning has thrown 37 pitches. And it's high, 2-1.
Just pounding that outside corner. The only time he's gone on the inside corner was with that first pitch curveball. So he has not gone hard stuff in at all this sequence.
And he comes inside, and it's a called strike.
Moving around. That's what he does so well. Mixed speeds, mixed movement, in and out. For a guy that is consistently around the knees, he doesn't throw the elevator fastball very often, but he will. He'll change sidelines, but not a lot.
On the ground to second, where Ugly will throw out Pagan, and that'll end the inning. Hey, Giants had a base runner and a hit. Fourth inning coming up.
Is brought to you by the Solar Company. Not just any solar company, the solar company.
Here it's 0-0 as we head to the fourth. It'll be Simmons, Upton, and Freeman. Both teams with a hit. On the ground to short. Crawford charges, throws. Twice now Simmons on one pitch has bounced out to short.
It's a gift. All right, time now for our AT&T trivia question, and you can tweet your answer to CSN Giants. Question tonight: name the only MLB catchers to win batting titles. All right, think about that.
Here's Upton taking his time getting into the box. Kane has been ready for about what seems like 5 minutes. First pitch on the inside corner, and Upton fouls it back. Upton drew a 4-pitch walk off of Kane in the first inning. Oh, 0-2.
That's one as a power hitter. You kind of step out and regroup, thinking, what just happened there?
Yeah, I want that one back.
Oh, he's going to come back to the dugout and say, how fast was that fastball? Let's say 91. He'll say, no way. And that's the beauty of Kane's fastball. It gets on you quick. And it has everything to do with his arm action. It just seems faster. You may go up there thinking 91, and all of a sudden he'll throw you 91, but because of the arm action, it seems like 95.
Upton fouls this one down the right field line and out of play. So it's 1-2. And that's driven down the right field line. It's going to be tough, and it's a foul ball. And that could have been fouled by more than 5 inches. As a matter of fact, as far as Upton ended up, you have to believe that he thought that it was going to be fair all the way.
Well, Jordan Baker making the call, and it's the correct call. But watch the folks up in the Virgin America loft. They are psyched because they got a souvenir.
Yep. You don't get many up there.
All right, pitchers, pose. That's great. Foul balls are not boring.
Another 1-2. Very close, but Upton holds up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Freddie Freeman on deck. On the ground, Crawford on the backhand. Quick release, 2 down. Nice play.
Now the thing that is impressive is always the exchange, and even guys with speed, they're just no match for the quick release. I mean, he gets to his back foot so quickly. Watch him plant on the right foot, and that's it. No stutter step, just a stride and go get him, and that's a strong set of legs and a strong arm. Plant, exchange, go, all very smoothly, and nice job.
Scudero will wait for Belt to get to the bag, and a nice inning for Kane. 3 ground balls. It remains 0-0. Scudero will lead things off.
And may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
All right, let's ask and answer our AT&T trivia question. Name the only MLB catchers to win the batting title. Our survey said. Well, Bubbles Hargrave did it. Ernie Lombardi, Joe Mauer, and Buster Posey. How about that? Lombardi twice, Mauer 3 times.
Here's Scudero, who bounced out to short. He takes down low. Sandoval and then Posey. Home half of the 4th inning here at AT&T Park. Chilly night.
Except Bubbles. Bubbles.
Up the middle and a base hit for Scudero. All right, let's check in with Amy G. Amy?
All right, guys, the Giants Community Fund and the Giants' wives, they've joined forces to raise money for the victims of the recent victims of the Boston and Texas tragedies. You can go tonight to the community clubhouse and purchase mystery autographed baseballs, guys. And if you can't come to the game, visit jrgiants.org. Go to auction tonight through Sunday, and all the proceeds will go to the victims, along with the $600,000 already donated by Major League Baseball. Dwayne?
Very nice. Great cause. And here's Sandoval. Sandoval lifts it into left center field. That's going to be a base hit. Scudero thought about it, but then put on the brakes in back-to-back singles here off of Hudson in the fourth.
You got to be very careful if you're going to challenge these arms from Graves. They're all very good. And with nobody out, remember what they say, you don't want to make the first or the third out at third base. So Marco Scudero being very conservative for a good reason.
Well, you make the hard turn just in case Upton juggles it or slips.
Well, I mean, ideally, you'd like to get a throw out of Upton. Because who knows, he may throw it away.
Buster Posey bounced out to third. Here he takes low and away. So a couple of guys that coming into their at-bats here in the fourth, Scudero and Sandoval combined 2 for 26 against Hudson.
They were due.
And that's off the end of the bat, foul down the right field line. Hit a home run last night off of Tehran.
Hang a slider, but it really was a long at bat, and he does it with 2-strike, 2-out count. Over number 5 for Posey. They go out to kind of remind you of how Matt Williams used to hit him out.
In tight. 2 balls and 1 strike. Hunter Pence on deck. Scudero at second, Sandoval at first. Into left center field. This is going to fall, and it's going to roll up against the wall. Sandoval is chugging, and they're going to hold him up. Scudero scores. Second and third, nobody out. 1-0 Giants.
They set up in the outside corner, and this has got hang time right over the middle. And right now, in the groove that he's in, you cannot make location mistakes out over the plate above the knee. You can't do it. And he finds that left center field gap, and he has been finding it a lot. The Giants have it set up to go large in this inning. 3 straight hits.
Here's Pence. Pence bounced out to third in the second. Pence rolls it foul right behind Tim Flannery, down where Amy G is, and it's 0-1. Sandoval at third, Posey at second. Pence, foul. Look
close.
out, Panda.
That was close. Now, if it hits Sandoval, in foul territory. If he's standing in foul territory, it's a foul ball. If he's in fair territory, he's out.
Manny Gonzalez emphatically says that's foul. Out of play.
I tried to elevate sidelines there in the 0-2 count. You can tell this is a strikeout situation. And Hudson does not elevate often, but this is one of those times that he will when he needs a strikeout. Especially since he knows that Hunter Pence is a low ball hitter. He's proven that over the years. Pence with good numbers lifetime against Hudson coming into tonight's ball game, hitting 389 before this game began. So Hudson knows where the hot spots are. Like he tried to front door him with a little slider or a cutter.
So it stays 1-2 to Hunter Pence. A run in. And right now Hudson trying to limit the damage. Slowly hit. Sandoval's going to score. Everybody's safe. And it's 2-0 Giants. And the Giants, at least in that at bat, break out the ground attack.
Well, a great pitch. I mean, he goes right into the hands, and I think he hits his ball about 6 inches above the thumbs. But Juan Francisco coming in, and really the only play he was going to have a chance at was going to be at Hunter Pence. And he could not find a handle. And you don't get a lot of time because Pence will bust his tail down there every time and put some pressure on that defense.
Yeah.
Now watch him come out of the box.
So here's Belt.
And that's 4 flat from the right side. That's flying.
Belt to swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. Belt has to have a pretty good idea of what Hudson is trying to do to get him out.
Yeah, he'll pitch for the ground ball early and they strike out late in the count if he gets to a 2-strike. But for Belt, you've got to think about getting something up.
Hudson struck out Belt in the 2nd inning. By the way, also really nice jump at 3rd from Sandoval.
You think it helps on a play like that when you have a runner at 3rd base, Sandoval, a 3rd baseman, and all of a sudden a swinging bunt comes his way that because he is a 3rd baseman, he might get a better jump than other guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because his jump was perfect.
Pence with 6 steals. And that's fouled at the plate, 0-2.
Back-to-back changeups. He's softballing.
And if you're a young hitter like Belt, you got to figure that a high fastball is coming pretty soon. Oh, 1-2.
The back foot slider. So that's been the hardest pitch that he's thrown in this 3-pitch sequence. 2 changeups and a back foot slider. So he still has not tried to elevate with the fastball. He's kept everything soft. And this may be your high fastball right here.
Maybe a little too high to chase. It's 2-2. 56 pitches now for Hudson, with Andres Torres watching from on deck.
That's a great pitch, and that is a great take.
I don't know how he took it, to be honest with you.
I don't either. I mean, given how this at bat started with 2 changeups right at the get-go, and he jumped on both of them. Here, just about as good a pitch as you could throw, and I don't know how he didn't out-fret it.
Well, now we'll see if Bruce Bochy sends Pence. Nope. Big chopper over Freeman. Pence slides into second, gets up, and motors to third. The throw to second is offline. It's a double for Belt. Posey scores. It's 3-0. A lot of things happened on that play. Ground attack, baby.
It's going full bore. Well, you got a 6'5" first baseman over there playing even with the bag, and just a jump ball that he can't quite get high enough. So the 5th hit in a row here. And that's nice protection there at a 3-2 count. So that was a grinding at bat from Brandon Belt. And he keeps that line moving. Pence sliding in. There was a deke there by Simmons. But it's still an easy take at third.
Here's Torres now. Second and third, nobody out. Outside to Torres.
Now, first time through the lineup against Hudson, 1 for 8 with a sack. Second time, 5 for 6, 2 doubles. They've got 3 runs on the board, and they're set up to go even larger.
It's hit high down the left field line. That's going to be out of play. 2 rows back. Torres struck out in the third.
David Carpenter, the right-hander, head down to the Braves bullpen.
Into the Braves dugout, 1-2. Hunter Pence is at third. Belt is at second. This is how the inning has gone. Scudero a single, Sandoval a single, Posey a double, Pence an infield hit, and Belt a high chopper over Freeman for a double. It's 5 straight hits. And he got him.
And he gets the strikeout he's pitching for. The back foot slider is the payout pitch. Second time tonight he's got Torres. And with the amount of ground balls that Hudson can throw, Braves are going to walk Brandon Crawford. Set the force up. But that's respect. I don't know if they would have done this to Crawford last year.
It'll give Matt Cain an opportunity to help himself. Crawford, by the way, lined a single in the left field in the third. So here's Cain. Cain with a sacrifice bunt in the third. You got decent speed at third. Not always a play you'll see a lot. Maybe a push bunt to try to get that run in from third. There is a force play at home.
Well, I think it's a great play. I mean, you've got good speed with Pence at third base. And even if you just give up an out, nobody scores, you keep the bases loaded and stay out of double play for Pagan, who's had good lifetime numbers against Hudson.
On the ground and into right field, a base hit. Pence is going to score. Holding at third is Belt, and Matt Cain comes through, and it's 4-0 in the ground attack. It's still going on.
Or maybe you just let him hit on the first pitch and wind up knocking in a run. How about that? And now the Giants are going to send their 9th hitter of the inning up. Just a challenge fastball, and he's anticipating the bunt. They had the corner infielders up on the grass, anticipating that Cain would put the bunt down. And you're always taught in a bunt situation, you throw a high fastball, and Cain beat him on it.
So here's Pagan. By the way, that's the first hit of the year for Cain. Also the first RBI of the year for Cain. Pagan is flied out and he's bounced out. And that's high and far and foul.
And wet. I know it's a foul ball, but when it goes in the water, this place lights up. I don't care, fair, foul. Water shot's a water shot.
That's the beauty of this park.
And the reaction is always the same.
So the 0-1 to Pagan, and it's low, 1 ball and 1 strike.
He likes the bases loaded. 362 lifetime hitter in this situation.
Also has got some ownage on Hudson in his career. Big chopper foul, and it's now 1-2.
That last pitch from Hudson this inning is 30th and 70 on the night.
Belt, Crawford, and Cain are your base runners. Out of play. So Hudson now on the mound rubbing up a new baseball. This tough Atlanta lineup, you need to add on. Just keep going. And Pagan is out swinging on a pitch down and in.
Back foot slider, same pitch he got Torres on. Gets him to go out of the strike zone. And he knew it halfway into the swing.
So here's Scudero. Scudero opened up the inning with a base hit up the middle. And he takes that pitch low. Hudson wanted it. 1 ball and no strikes.
You know, you get 33, 34 pitches into an inning, you want everything. You could throw a 4-hopper up there and one and call a strike. You're looking for all the help you can get.
Scudero wraps one into left field, a base hit. Belt scores. Here comes Crawford. He scores. And the Giants have just laid a 6 spot on Tim Hudson here in the 4th inning.
And that one is the one that hurt him. When he got to that 2-out total, he's thinking, all right, I can get out of here with the 4 spot. And Scudero comes up with a great at bat. Little hanger right up there middle in above the knees. And that's going to be the last pitch that Hudson throws tonight.
So Carlos Tasca comes out. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. We'll be back. And coming in out of the bullpen is David Carpenter.
David Carpenter, new pitcher, just recalled from their AAA associate or affiliate Gwinnett. These are his career totals. 1-5 with a 1 save and a 5.7 ERA. He's got a fastball that'll go low to mid-90s with a hard slider. Not his first big league team he's been up with. He's been with Houston and Toronto.
Sandoval singled in this inning. Now he's at the plate with runners at first and second. And this is slowly hit near the bag. Uggla's got it, jugglers it, throws, and they get Sandoval, and that'll end the inning. 6 runs for the Giants here in the 4th. We'll head to the 5th. 6-0 San Francisco.
By Provident Credit Union Super Reward Checking, a checking account that pays you.
Here it's 6-0 Giants as we go to the 5th.
Hot chocolate time. Oh, yeah. Throw a little schnapps in there, make it a snuggler.
That's pretty good, I got to tell you.
Anything hot right now tastes pretty good, sounds pretty good.
Here's Ugla, McCann, and then Upton. First pitch strike to Ugla. He struck out in the second.
Anthony Varvaro, the right-hander, getting heated up.
One and one to Ugla. Just outside. The Atlanta Braves have just one hit. That was a base hit by Jordan Schaefer that Crawford made a nice play on a ground ball behind the bag and could not throw him out. Now it's 3-1 to Ugla. I guess the fear is, if you're starting pitcher, is the fact that you didn't sit around because you were on the bases for a while, but you did sit through a long half inning. This has popped up, and that'll be a souvenir.
Well, the fact that he got up and he got on the bases, that takes care of all the possibility of getting stale. But one thing you don't want to do, you don't want to be walking any leadoff hitter when you got a 6-run inning that you're trying to answer with a shutdown inning.
And he walks Ugla, his second walk. We'll get up to the minute. The minute you're up with Today in the Bay. See breaking news, your weather forecast, and real-time traffic. Watch Today in the Bay weekday starting at 4:30 a.m. on NBC Bay Area. Here's McCann, who put a bruise on Kane with a line drive. And he takes a strike, and it's 0-1. On deck is B.J. Upton. Posey set up way off the plate, and that's where Kane throws it, and the count is now even. Foul past Terry Pendleton. This was the bruise we're talking about. Take a look at this shot that hit off of Kane.
Yeah, it was no cheapie. I mean, he's going to feel this for a while. That was a stinger. You can almost hear the bone as it hit in the hip. Just.
That's the play of the game.
Well, maybe the play of the year.
2-2 on the high fastball. Be pitch number 60 for Matt Kane. And it's now 3-2.
Another 3-ball count here. You know, and maybe the point you make about getting a little stiff because of the ball that hit him,
maybe,
is causing him some problems.
High and deep to right, and McCann hits one out again, and it's 6-2. That's his second in as many nights.
And it was almost in the exact spot that he hit the ball out last night. Down and in. They set up away. It goes down and in a similar situation, almost to the exact location we saw last night happen. They set up away with Vogelsong, and he missed the location in. And he hits it out. This one, was that a pure water shot?
I don't know. Here's Upton. Upton drives one into center field. Pagan got a good jump. And that'll bring up Juan Francisco.
Let's see. Did it make the water? I'm saying that's a water shot.
As well.
It almost hit the guy in the kayak.
Francisco popped out to left field. Here he takes low, 1 ball and no strikes. Swing and a miss. And that evens the count. Send the ball off the line at third. Crawford shading Francisco to pull the ball. Swing and a miss, 1 and 2.
He's just buggy whipping up there. A lot of movement in that box for Juan Francisco.
And he got him.
So you learn a lot in that at bat with Francisco. He'll chase below the zone, he'll chase above the zone. Watch the wrap as he really gets coiled to unleash it. That is not a 2-strike adjustment, folks. I mean, the Braves lead the league in strikeouts, and partially because they don't make a lot of 2-strike adjustment. They let it go. And Francisco, case in point with that last 2-strike hack.
So here's David Carpenter. He's going to hit. And he takes a strike. Carpenter, lifetime 500 hitter.
Yeah, that's a pretty good swing right there. I think he's got a little more control in the swing than Juan Francisco, to be honest with you. I mean, he's bailing big time, doesn't have a lot of outside coverage, but still.
Jim Moorhead from our PA department saying indeed was a splash hit. And it's now 2 and 2 to Carpenter. So it's 2 and 2 to Carpenter. 2 runs in here in the 5th. Matt Cain could not come up with that shutdown inning. And that'll do it. So Carpenter strikes out. McCann with a 2-run home run. It's Posey to lead things off.
He says it's a tough game sometimes, and it will beat you down, but I've been through this before, and I've come through the other side. I came through it after 13 years. I came through it after August of 2011, and I came through it after August and September 2012, and I'll come through it again this year, and nobody in that clubhouse doubts it.
I believe him.
Well, he's close, and he knows he's close. And that's the one time when it's really tough being a starting pitcher, when you're going through a tough time because you have to wait 5 days to get back out there.
Here's Buster Posey, who takes a call strike.
Well, she's turning 29 today, but her heart belongs to number 28. Well, happy birthday. Gamer babes.
Here to have a good time. Buster Posey with a double in the fourth inning that knocked in a run. That RBI for Buster Posey, number 22. Make that number 23. Outside again, 2-1. Pence to follow. That's out of play down the right field line.
Oh, yeah. Light up the crowd. Psyched. Yeah, we're looking at the media guide in regards to David Carpenter. He's a converted catcher. He was in college at West Virginia. He led the team in home runs. Had 7, 38 RBIs, hit over 300. He could hit.
Low, 3-2.
That explains that swing.
Carpenter to Posey, payoff. Down the right field line, and this is foul. Heads up, Virgin America, you almost got another one. We need to do a game from down there.
Well, we did one, and it was fun.
We really want to do the games from, that never happens.
From the luxury suite behind home plate?
Never happened.
Yeah.
Out of play. So be the 8th pitch coming up to Buster Posey. Tomahawks this out of play.
Challenge fastball is just staying on the outside part of the plate. Carpenter's really a 2-pitch guy. That's all we've seen. Fastball, slider, everything hard. Go get him.
Up the middle to Ugla. And Ugla will throw out Posey.
Well, tomorrow is a great day. It's the glove drive, Saturday, May 11th. You bet. The annual Junior Giants Glove Drive presented by Bank of America. And over 9,000 kids who play Junior Giants baseball do not own their own glove. You bring a new or used glove or make a $10 donation at the game on Saturday, May 11th, and you will receive a World Champions pin or a Buster Posey MVP pin. And yes, you can buy both. If you can't make it to the game, you can also help by donating money online at juniorgiants.org. It only takes $10 to buy kids a glove. It's a good glove. Again, you can donate at juniorgiants.org.
Pence takes a strike. He'll be Volunteers, a lot of them outside the ballpark. There'll be many inside the ballpark once the game starts. So check the garage, check the closet.
And no glove is too old or too gnarly.
No, I mean, look at that one. That's a pearl.
Yeah. Deep pocket.
So that's an old one too.
About 1955 to 1960, somewhere in there.
1-1 to Pence. Pence had a pitch to hit and he fouls it back. Pence was one of the guys that really ticked off Hudson. Hit a little dribbler that got a base hit to knock in a run. Belted a high chopper over Freeman for a double. Kane had a C&I base hit to knock in a run. And this is playable, I think, for McCann. 2 outs. So here's Belt. Belt with that double in the 4th. Knocked in a run his 15th. And he takes one right down the middle of the plate, 0-1. That's one you'd like to have back.
Well, one to measure, one to rake. Seeing a guy for the first time, not a bad thing to take a pitch.
0-2.
Think about Carpenter. I mean, he's not afraid to come at you with gas. He's pretty proud of that fastball. And there's not a whole lot of location behind it. He's just reaching back, going country hardball.
Except there, 1-2. That's the same glove. Can't trick us.
Yeah, they quit making those.
One-two to Belt. Belt stays alive by lifting one foul down the left field line and out of play. Now I think I know the answer to this. Is tomorrow a day game?
Yes, it is.
Wow. Yeah, Giants pregame live will be on at 12:30. He got the ball and it's in the right spot. 1-2. There's a broken bat ground ball to Freeman, and that'll end the inning. 6th inning coming up. It'll be the top of the order. Jordan Schaefer facing Matt Cain.
2 in the top of the 6th inning, and we've got a new Romo's relief ready for fans at csnbarrier.com. Gentlemen, I sat down with Sergio today, and we talked about how important it is as a closer to have a short-term memory. He also shares what he enjoys most about using Twitter to engage with fans. Romo's relief, csnbarrier.com. Dwayne?
All right, thanks, Amy. Always a delightful chat with Sergio Romo as Jordan Schaefer takes a called strike. He had an infield hit in the 3rd. That game's perfect game. It was Jordan Schaefer who did this. That's it. Perfect game is over.
No, not so fast, my friend. Just one things that we really can't explain, how a right fielder gets out to that part of the ballpark. You just you've never seen it before, never seen it since.
Got him.
That's a big out right there, and that's some paint. 0-2 paint on the outside corner. 5th strikeout for Kane. Just a little cutter right back into that outside corner location and nails it.
Here's Simmons, the young shortstop for this Atlanta Braves team. Last year the Braves just raved about Simmons. And before the Giants got to Atlanta to play the Braves, Simmons had gotten hurt. And talking to their announcers, Chip Carey and Joe Simpson, they said, this guy's, wait till you see him. He's got some power. He likes the swing, that's for sure. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Now they talk about his defensive abilities the way that we talk about Brandon Crawford.
One and 2 under his hands.
This 2-seam fastball just changing the movement.
Upton on deck. And it's very high, 2 and 2. Kane now with 79 pitches. Taps this one off his foot. If you hit one off your foot, kid, don't run.
Well, I mean, is that something you have to learn up here?
Not unless you thought that this was going to dribble down the 3rd base line. But I mean, he didn't even hit it off his foot. He hit it off his body.
I know.
All right. Don't take any chances, right?
Stay
Run.
put. See, I could give you a good argument for that both ways. When you've been in the big leagues for 10 years, hold your ground.
Stay there. Anchor yourself.
When you're a rook, run.
Three-two pitch coming up. On the ground to Crawford. Crawford to Belt. Here's Upton. Upton has walked and then hit a ball in the hole. A nice backhanded play by Crawford, and Crawford threw him out. Arizona in a tie score with Philadelphia. LA in a tie score with Miami. Colorado lost. As that's hit a ton into left center field. Pagan way out in left center. He's going to jump up against the wall, and it's off the wall. And I just think Pagan mistimed his jump.
No, I agree. I think he was anticipating he was going to get some wall and didn't really get it. Off the crack of the bat, I know one thing. Justin Upton thought he had a 4-bagger. But that's one that Pagan should have caught. I just think he expected to get Wall a little bit sooner.
Yeah, hit off the tip of his glove. So here's Freeman. But a good effort. Freeman is bounced out twice. Outside, 1 ball and no strikes. That's the 6th career double for Justin Upton off of Matt Cain.
Yeah, Upton could not believe it did not go out. He just got AT&T'd.
Freeman lifts one out to Andres Torres. And that ends the inning. 6-2 Giants. History. It happened in 1974. The Giants outlast the Braves 5-4 in 13 innings. In Atlanta, Chris Beyer tied it with a 7th inning home run off of Phil Niekro. Bobby Bonds gives the Giants the victory when he scores the winning run in the top of the 13th. And that all happened at my partner's favorite stadium, Atlanta Fulton County Stadium.
Easy, easy.
Now watch what Matt Cain walked off the mound. Justin Upton was running down the line, and he asked Upton if he got it. Did you get it? Upton turned around and smiled and said, yeah.
Yes, I did. What a great place to pitch.
Here's Andres Torres. Torres is happy that Hudson is out. Hudson struck him out twice, and very quickly here Carpenter jumps out in front 0-2 or 0-1. Yep. Caramel corn, it's good stuff.
That seriously is some of the best caramel corn on the planet.
On the planet?
On the planet.
I mean, you just jumped right outside of Northern California. You went to the planet.
It's that good.
Wow.
But you can't get through the whole thing.
Wow.
You just can't.
If that's the case, I want to get that.
You got to have a ton of friends on that thing.
Hat trick for Torres.
Well, MLB TV celebrates 11 years with new low yearly prices. Watch every out-of-market game live on over 350 supported mobile and connected devices in HD quality with MLB.TV Premium. Visit MLB.TV today. MLB.TV, baseball everywhere.
Here's Crawford. Crawford has singled and he's walked. That's good attitude by both of them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that caramel corn, you start off, the first bite you say, I'm not sharing with anybody. And about halfway into it, you're looking for friends. You need help. Now that all-day sucker, you can have that one all by yourself.
I never liked those as a kid.
Yeah,
I'd rather have 5 little ones.
See? Looking for friends.
You think that guy knew when he bought that it's the best in the planet?
Yeah, in my humble opinion. That's good stuff.
2-1 now to Crawford.
Panda people, you can always tell. You can just tell. I don't know how, but you just can.
Two balls and a strike to Crawford. Crawford digs one out, and he's got a base hit. Bringing Matt Cain to the plate.
That's a 2-hit night for Brandon Crawford. Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go. Hey, is this the best on the planet, Dad? No, Can I have my lollipop back? Who's got it? He made a bad trade.
Looking for that sucker again.
Cain bunts this one foul off the backstop. Cain had a sacrifice bunt in the 3rd inning.
Stubborn with a fastball, missed outside with it. You're tied to bunt situation. The hardest pitch to bunt is the one right across the letters. Tried the butcher. Show bunt, pull it back. In that situation, too, you're just trying to put the ball on the ground. Bunt play, you're going to see a shortstop come to the bag. You're going to see a second baseman vacate and go to first base. So you've got wide openings on both sides of the infield. You're just trying to put it on the ground.
And Cain bunts this one, and McCann has to pick it up, and he throws to Ugla, and it'll go 2-4. So Pagan is going to get a chance to pick up an RBI. He's 0 for 3 in the game. So here's Pagan. And Pagan takes a strike. Giants with a 6-2 lead. They scored all of their runs in the 4th off of Tim Hudson.
They'd love to get one of those runs back right here, especially in a 2-out situation. That really keeps that momentum in your team's dugout.
Crawford with pretty good speed at second. And that evens the count at a ball and a strike. Seagulls are starting to work their way in.
They're looking for moths. Over the hors d'oeuvres before dinner.
Hit high and deep to right. This baby's way back. It is out of here. the second of the year, and the Giants get both of those runs back.
And that's how you keep momentum in your dugout. And when you can do it to somebody in a 2-out situation, it hurts. A little slider, he sees it early. Just a nice, easy swing right through the ball, and here's your carry. And watch the reaction from Carpenter.
Scudero takes low. Scudero's had a good ball game. He's 2 for 3, a couple of singles. So I'm sure Pagan frustrated with his 3 at-bats. Not so much now. Strike to Scudero. Bochy was talking about he's been wanting to give Scudero a day off. But he said he's one of the guys swinging the bats right now.
Been about 2 hits a game. Another 2-hit night tonight.
He hits one high into left field. It's in the park. It'll be Upton. And that'll end the inning. Pagan's second home run of the year. It reaches the arcade. It's bye-bye baby. And it's 8-2 Giants. All right, here's our Toyota game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Hudson gave up 6 in the 4th. Matt Cain has been pretty good. Scudero's got a couple of RBIs, and it has been all about the 4th inning in this game. Pagan with a home run. Is Ugla ducks down away from a breaking ball. This is the 7th. Ugla with a swing and a miss.
I use that curveball a whole lot, but it really can still be an effective pitch, especially in a fastball count. If you think about it, when Cain first showed up at the doorstep of the big leagues, he was a fastball curveball guy. If you think about the guys that he was exposed to, Matt Morris and Randy Johnson, and really all the veterans that are in the club now, and not to mention Dave Righetti, Mark Gardner. I mean, they're just doing a wonderful job with this guy. He has learned his craft well.
He even talks a lot, or he did, when Matt Morris left about him.
Well, Matt Morris really was a gift to Matt Cain, because when Matt Cain was just a young player, Matt Morris came in. There was, I've seen very few guys that have been as classy an athlete as Matt Morris.
He'll be out of play.
The way that Matt Morris went about preparing for a start, the way that he would read hitter types and dissect their swings and try and put different types of movement to those types of swings. Explaining situation to a young pitcher. How do you pitch for a ground ball? How do you pitch for a strikeout in a first, second, or third at bat against a guy in a strikeout situation?
Pence is coming in hard. He's going to slide, and he makes the catch. What a play by Hunter Pence.
I did not think he was going to get there.
He chewed up some ground in a hurry.
Right off the end of the bat. And we're talking about a low backhander on a dive. And I bet that thing was about a foot off the ground when he finally gets that backhand to it. And a barrel roll for style points. That's a great play.
Here's McCann.
Giants have put some gloves on the Braves tonight. They have played good defense.
McCann has hurt Kane twice.
Coming in on a dive. And the degree of difficulty to the backhand. I mean, that's a tough play. What do you think's tougher, coming in and forward on a forehand or a backhand?
I think outfielders would rather have that play
than the forehand?
Than any other plays. Pagan moving over. And he makes the catch. Here's Upton. Upton is bounced out and flied out.
That ball just exploded in on him. It almost hit him.
Yep.
I'm not really sure where it hit on the bat, but it wasn't anywhere above the label. The sit up outside. Now that thing almost hit his thumbs. That had to be 4 inches above the hand.
And it stays at 0-2.
That was not a good 0-2 pitch. That had some hang to it. He has not missed many spots tonight, and when he's missed, he hasn't missed out over the middle of the strike zone. Much better 0-2 pitch.
So it's 1-2 with 2 outs here in the 7th.
They know Upton will chase. He will go out of the strike zone. 2 times Cain's tried to go get him, and 2 times he has been able to hold up.
Got him, and that'll end the inning. Pablo Sandoval will lead things off. on. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts. And it's Corey Guerin.
Guerin is a sinker baller, sinker slider guy with a good slider. It's a strikeout pitch. Done a good job. See the sidearm delivery. Guerin in his second year at the big league level. Out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, 6'3", 200-pounder. Fourth round pick by Atlanta, the 2007 June draft.
Sandoval taps this one to Simmons at short, and Sandoval is retired. And that'll bring up Buster Posey. Buster Posey doubled in a run in the fourth. That was the big 6-run fourth inning. Here this pitch is wide to Posey. Bottom of the seventh. 8-2 Giants. And it's 2-0. Pence to follow. 3-0. The Diamondbacks beat the Phillies 3-2. So the Phillies have lost the first 2 games in that 4-game series. Strike to Posey. So Posey, after jumping out in front 3-0, now it's 3-2. So he's had about as good a look at Guerin as you're going to get. And he got him. All right, let's check in with Amy G. Amy.
All right, Dwayne and Mike, the voting has begun for the 84th annual Major League Baseball All-Star Game. And Giants fans, it's time to get on board. You can vote right here at AT&T Park, or you can go online to sfgiants.com and you can vote up to 35 times per email address. Now remember, guys, the Giants fans, huge influence last year. They sent 4 players to the All-Star Game, and their own skipper, Bruce Bochy, will be managing the NL All-Star team. So vote, vote, vote.
Yeah, last year Buster Posey was the leading vote getter.
Yeah, and Pablo Sandoval at the very end passed David Wright. Also, I remember where Melky Cabrera was in that whole process, but he got voted in as well. And I think he got voted in late. So it's 0-2 to Pence, and Pence is going to flip one past Douglas for a base hit.
He can really extend out over the plate away. I mean, that was a pretty good pitch by Guerin. Little slider. And this is not anywhere near the strike zone. This is off the plate away, and he goes down there and beats it. And he backspins it going out the other way.
So Belt will hit with 2 outs. For the Giants, that's their 11th hit. And Belt takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Pence with good speed. Here's the 1-1 to Belt, and Belt swings and misses. Yeah, they're telling us that Shelby Miller's start against the Rockies about as good as you're going to get without throwing a no-hitter. Eric Young led off the game with a broken bat single, and then he retired the next 27.
Wow.
He struck out 13. He didn't walk anybody. Foul at the plate.
Saw how Gearin grips the ball behind his back, and you can see not only the grip but the nail job that he has sort of epoxied on his middle finger. I think guys have problems when their fingers split, and look at this finger right here. I mean, that they're putting some stuff on that thing to kind of hold it together. Whoa. Constantly have to take care of your fingertips. Shave down calluses. Calluses can blister up underneath and get a blood blister, and you can miss time. Blisters are serious problems for pitchers.
Belt lifts one down the left field line. A long run for Upton. Can he get there? Yes, he does. Pence with the lone hit in the 7th. 8th inning coming up. 8-2 Giants.
Is brought to you by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
Well, stay immediately after Giants baseball for Esurance Giants postgame live. Highlights, reaction, analysis. It's all coming up right after the ball game. One change for the Giants, and that's Joaquin Arias is now at third. The Panda is out of the ball game. So some action for Joaquin Arias. And here's Juan Francisco, who takes a pitch wide, 1-0. 8th inning. A 3-hitter for Matt Cain as Jeremy Affeldt starts to move down towards the Giants bullpen. And a strike.
Little cutter on a 1-0 count. And when a guy's coming out of a mechanical funk, we talked about the April for Matt Cain, where he didn't get a lot of breaks, but he had some mechanical problems.
Scudero, he will find it and throw it and get him. And then just a little bit of panic sets in.
A little bit of panic. Cain finally got out of April in his last outing against the Dodgers. He went 7+, allowed 1 run. And you always wonder what he's going to do in the next outing, and he really has backed it up tonight. There's that panic you're talking about, but he still made the play with the bare hand. tonight he has really been very consistent with his command with all of his pitches.
Here's Chris Johnson. Johnson takes a pitch low and away.
Guy puts back-to-back starts together. You start to say, all right, he's back on track. And Kane has done that tonight.
Johnson rolls it foul. I think Chris Johnson was in that perfect game that Matt Kane threw. Johnson with Houston last year. Parts of the year with Houston, and then he finished out the season with Arizona. He does have some power. That looks like your closet.
Well, can't have
well,
too
that's
much
like my
black.
closet too. All right, I get it.
Hey, I can't believe you're throwing stones.
Hey, you pass through the dugout store. There's something in there that we don't have. I remember going to County Stadium and looking at those things. As this is hit on the ground to Crawford. Crawford will throw on to Bell. And I also knew that I had no chance that my dad was going to buy anything.
Oh, no chance. The only time I got something is when it was a giveaway.
And back in those days, they were not giving too much away. Here's Schaefer.
Well, it's fun. Strap on your colors, you head to the yard, pick up your gloves, watch a ball game, catch a foul ball, maybe.
Schaefer takes a pitch high. Schaefer is 1 for 3. Schaefer chases a pitch that was in the dirt, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Now those are good ones right there. Pablo with the MVP. Buster with the World Series trophy. Good changeup, and that did not miss by a much. That was pitch number 111.
Tomorrow we'll pick those up.
Yeah, those are good memories.
2 balls and a strike. Two balls and 2 strikes on pitch 112.
And that's just nice use of a little cutter in the backside. Guys see it early, they give up, and it just keeps coming back into the strike zone. And he's used that pitch a lot tonight.
Just high. It's 3-2.
Yeah, that's right to the scout report right there. That's a pretty good take from Schaefer's perspective, because that's a tough one for him to lay off of.
Got him. Maybe his last hitter. He strikes out Jordan Schaefer. The horse has gone 8 with 7 strikeouts. He's only allowed 3 hits and 2 runs. Some of what has happened here at the park tonight. It's 8-2 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts. Anthony Varvero.
Varvero from Staten Island, New York.
And he is facing Andres Torres, who would like to put the ball in play.
Varvero he's a hard thrower. He's right over the top too. 3-pitch guy, fastball, curveball, changeup, but it's just a 12-6 drop on the curveball. Just about a year's service at the big leagues. Got to the big leagues with Seattle, and the Braves claimed him off the waiver wire from Seattle in 2011.
Torres takes a strike. It's 2-1. See Matt Cain's line.
114 pitches for Cain tonight. That's his season high. That's a great line. You allow 5 base runners. You've done your job.
Torres hits one out into Triple's alley. Is this going to hang up for Schaefer? It will. Well, the Giants want to announce that post-game fireworks show has been added to the Friday night game against the Rockies on May 24th. And that could start off the Memorial Day weekend at AT&T Park. Giants Rockies 7:15. Go to sfgiants.com to purchase tickets. Here's Crawford. Crawford is 2 for 2 with a walk. He was walked intentionally in the 4th. He scored a couple of runs. The dog is here.
He's loving the night. Nick Noonan get a chance to get an at-bat tonight.
Crawford takes wide. It's 2-0. George Contos is getting loose. Crawford hits one into center field. It's off the end of the bat. Upton's coming in, and he'll put it away.
Well, don't forget to check out Sportsnet Central tonight after Giants postgame live right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. As David Feldman said, lots going on here in the sports world, especially here in the Bay Area.
So here's Noonan. Noonan hitting at 273. Most of his at bats have come off the bench. Noonan takes a strike. He's 3 for 15 with a couple of RBIs as a pinch hitter.
That's one of the hardest things to do as a young player. Pinch hit. The reason it's hard, and it's normally a job you see an older player have, is that he doesn't really have a book on a lot of pitchers in the league. Plus, when does the pinch hitter hit? Late in the game. And who does he see? He sees the best relievers that the opposing team has. And if you don't have an at bat against them, or 2 or 5 or 15 or whatever, it's tough.
And this will kick foul. Has he got a double elephant ear going? I don't think I've seen that.
Both flaps down.
I mean, Jeffrey Leonard would be pretty psyched about that, wouldn't he?
That's got to be deliberate. That's a slump buster right there.
That can't be deliberate.
Well,
unless a veteran just insisted that you do that. Now this guy's back. We said it would be better at night.
Yeah, it's definitely better.
We're still not quite sure what it does. Oh, he brought a friend.
I think he's explaining to the guy what it does. He may be trying to sell that thing to him. He's a prospective buyer.
I got you. It's a test drive.
Yeah, he's test driving.
Noonan bounces this one to Ugla. Ugla will throw on, and that'll retire the side. Great. We're now having test drives in the Cove. Killing me.
Dude, great mileage.
Ninth inning coming up. Well, it's going to be at 1 p.m. Pregame live will start at 12:30 right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. And the game on Sunday will be right at the same time. Then the Giants will be in Toronto and Denver. And tomorrow, by the way, will be Paul Mahallam against Madison Bumgarner. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
George Contos, the new pitcher now for Bruce Bochy. 19th time that Contos has come in. Having a good solid start. 18 base runners in 19 innings. And he has been chewing on right-handed hitters. 152 they're batting against him. And he's going to face one here to open it up.
And that'll be Simmons, followed by Upton, and then Freeman. Simmons has bounced out to Crawford 3 times. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. And a high strike. It's 2-1.
Haven't seen a whole lot of high strikes tonight from plate umpire Tony Randazzo. But first strike for a reliever does wonders for him.
Javi Lopez starting to get loose down in the bullpen. On the ground, Arias gets some work at third. 1 out.
So a nice 3-1 challenge, and Contos gets the ground ball. Nick Noonan stays in the game, and he's at second base. Scudro's night is over.
So here's Upton. Upton has walked. He's bounced out and then hit what looked like was going to be a home run, but it was off the wall. in the 6th inning. And a fastball high, 1 ball and no strikes. Freeman to follow. And a strike.
Hey, the Harbor Queen's here.
All
Red
right.
and white fleet.
Pulling in. Look out, though. They got company.
Well, I mean, submarine.
I mean, this is a problem right here.
Well,
2 balls and a strike.
If you're the skipper of the Harbor Queen, what are you thinking when you see this thing?
I'm thinking, I hope that thing bumps me. Actually, he's thinking, I hope it sinks. Three and one.
Another 3-1 count here for Contos.
Yep.
Pirate fans. You can always tell Pirate fans.
Pirates won today, 7-3 in New York. Upton fouls it out of play. It's 3-2. So Upton steps out of the box. And a 3-2 to Upton. And he walked him.
2-2 slider. And that's going to be the last pitch for Contos.
So it'll be Javier Lopez coming in. Here in the 9th, it's 8-2 Giants, and we'll be back. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Javier Lopez, 16th time he has come in for Bruce Bochy. 1-0 with a 3.24 ERA. Lefty's hit 273 off him.
And Freeman bounces the first pitch to Noonan. Noonan's going to go to second, and they will get the out there. A bit risky when you really just need to get one out for sure.
Well, yeah, you just have to make sure you get one. If you're going to second, you have to know you can get it. But still, a nice play.
Yes, it was. So here's Ugla. Ugla 0 for 2 of the walk, and he skies this one out to Hunter Pence in deep right center field, and Pence will put it away, and that's the ball game. So the Giants in the win column in this series against Atlanta. And Mike, tonight it was really all about a big fourth inning and Matt Cain.
Well, it's an important start when you can back up a good one, and then the last one he had against the Dodgers was fantastic. He's got to be feeling like he's back tonight, because he was spectacular. He spotted everything. He used all his pitches. He really had command of the strike zone. That's the Matt Cain that everybody around here is going to love.
Final score here tonight: Giants 8, Braves 2. Esurance Giants post-game live with interviews, and the wrap is coming up. But first, let's go to the Sportsnet Central studio for an update.